Hello and welcome to my channel. My very first video was of the 2025 Toy Fair. Here we are doing 2026. I think this video is going to be a lot shorter. First of all, I'm just going to do Ninja Turtle stuff this year. Also, I feel like we're seeing a lot of the same stuff that we saw last year, and there just isn't as much to talk about. I'm going to jump right in with NECA. It seems like they always have the most Ninja Turtle stuff, and even this year it felt like they had very little going on. We did finally get to see the Fortnite turtles. I am so happy to see these. I cannot wait till they come out. I'm going to buy all the turtles. I don't think I need the shredder. But I'm definitely gonna get all the turtles. They announced these figures at last year's Toy Fair, and they said they would be coming out Q1 2026. It looks like they've now pushed them to Q3 2026. I can wait. I'm definitely gonna get them. They look so good. I'm very happy with these. They brought more 2012 figures for us to look at. I believe we saw the Footbots last time. They still look really good. This Tiger Claw looks amazing. I probably like 2012 the least out of everybody who's ever seen this show. I still think the show's okay, but it's not like my favorite. And I'm kind of neutral with this character, but this Tiger Claw figure just looks so good. I might get him just because they did such a great job and he looks good on the shelf. Here are some of the others. They have Slash. He looks really good. You guys know I am a big Slash fan, but I don't think I'm gonna get him. I don't like the Slash. I do really like the 2012 Casey Jones, but I don't know if I like this figure. I know he's really spindly in the show, but I don't know. I don't care for him that much. I do love the little metalhead. He is so cute. He's really adorable. I might get him, though I already have the Playline metalhead. He's cute enough. Like, I might just keep the Playline metalhead. We'll see what he looks like when he comes out. I might do a comparison. Here is the Splinter. 2012 Splinter is one of my favorite Splinters, and I was excited about this figure, and I was just curious how they would make him. Like, if anything from the waist down is posable, if he has actual legs under this robe, or what's going on with him. But I will probably get the Splinter just so my turtles have a Splinter. This particular Splinter is one of the best things that came out of the 2012 show. Like, don't get me wrong, it may not be my favorite show, but there were a lot of good things that came out of this show. I just thought it got weirder and weirder, and the writing got worse as the seasons went on, which I think is par for the course for Ninja Turtles. I think a lot of like the OG cartoon got worse and worse as the seasons went on. The 2003 series was really good until Nickelodeon got a hold of it, and then we had like Fast Forward and Back to the Sewer, and those weren't good. And 2012 I think suffered the same thing, where they either ran out of ideas or they kind of wrote themselves into a corner, and the writing just got weirder and weirder. I actually didn't even manage to get through the last season of the show because I was just so burned out with how bizarre the show had gotten, and I wasn't having a good time anymore. 2012 had a really solid first season. Like, I was super into it when it first started, and they just kind of wore me down by nearly the end. But related to the show, I think this figure is fair. I think he is a hard character to make into a figure because of the long robe, but we'll see how it goes. Like, I still want a 2012 Splinter, and I don't think they made a Playline 2012 Splinter, or at least I didn't see him when they re-released them at Target, and I got the Playline 2012 Turtles. I really liked those, but I was looking for a Splinter and it didn't seem like they had one. So I will at least be looking at him, and I will probably buy him just so that I can have a Splinter. Here are the Stan Sakai turtles in boxes. This is how they're going to look in the stores. We did get to see these last year, and I got super excited about them. I will be getting all the turtles. I don't know about the Usagi. I would really prefer to have him in his Ronin outfit with the blue robe that he usually wears. So I might look back, because I believe they did release an Usagi like that. I might get that Usagi for these turtles, but I'm definitely getting the turtles. I love the face expressions. I love the bright colors. So I will be looking forward to these. They're supposed to come out in the stores fairly soon. They said within a couple of weeks. So keep your eyes out for those if you're interested in the Stan Sakai turtles. Next, we're going to quickly go to Super 7. They didn't have anything super crazy going on. They had 2003 turtles on display, which you wanted them, you already have them. They had the second wave, which was the Foot Soldier, Shredder, Splinter, and Casey Jones. By the way, I got all of these pictures from Toy Arc. If you can't tell from the watermarks, because I wasn't there. Toy Arc does a great job of showing all the toys. At least all the action figures. I've noticed if you're like on the doll side, they don't really cover that. But if you're into action figures, Toy Arc does a great job of covering all the booths, and they usually have a link where you can just see a whole list of like everything that was at Toy Fair. So I like going to Toy Arc for pictures if I can't, if I'm not there, which is usually I'm not there. This is mostly what they got. They just showed us 2003. Like I said, this is kind of what Toy Fair was this year. Not a whole lot of like new exciting stuff, but they're just showing us stuff that we knew was already coming. A lot of stuff that's already been out. They brought some of their, the reaction line, I think is what they're called. Something like that, but they're just like little bitty figures. They're kind of cute, but I don't know why you need these. I actually do kind of like the Shredder and the little Foot Soldier, but when you have the really big nice figures, what do you do with these little bitty ones? I guess if you have like an office or a work desk, they'd be fun to put up on there. I do like the packaging a lot. The art is really bright and fun. But this is pretty much all the Ninja Turtle stuff that we had going on for Super 7. Up next is Playmates. In a previous Ninja Turtles news video, I talked about how they are losing their Ninja Turtle license at the end of 2026, and I expressed how curious I was to see what they were going to do with this year that they had left. Like if they were going to try to sell all their inventory, or if they were going to put anything else out. And with how fast they got pictures of these figures out before the Toy Fair, I'm pretty sure this was already in the works. But I think this was a very smart idea. This is a great toy line. This is going to be their very last hurrah, or if they're going to try to put something else out by the end of the year. I was pleasantly surprised, and I'm not a big G.I. Joe person. I don't know a lot about them, and I'm not even going to really buy many of these figures, but I think this was a really smart move. I think a lot of people are super excited for these figures, and Playmates is going to make a good amount of money on them. Here is Cobra Commander Shredder, which I think he looks amazing. I think he is my second favorite of this line. I think he looks so good. And then we have Destro Krang. This one doesn't hit for me. But he is still a fun figure. And we got Bebop and Rocksteady. I know very little about G.I. Joe. I know just kind of some surface information. I have no idea who Rocksteady is. I do think the Cobra tattoo in like 3D on his arm is pretty cool. But this outfit that he's wearing, it just looks like he's Rocksteady. Like, other than the Cobra thing, he doesn't look G.I. Joe coded to me. I think it's just because he looks military to begin with. And then Bebop, I can picture the guy that he's supposed to be, but I don't know his name. This is a cool figure though. He's a lot of fun. And then the Cobra thing on his chest. These are both fun figures. I'm not going to be getting them, but I can see how a lot of people are going to really enjoy these figures. This one is my absolute favorite, the Shadow Storm Slash. He looks so good. I'm getting him for sure, 100%. I'm going to be stocking the aisles just for him. My favorite. Hands down, my favorite. Look at, and he comes with all this. Slashes always come with like a million weapons. I love it. We got April as Scarlet, which is, of course, like easiest choice ever. Raphael is Roadblock. Leo is Snake Eyes, which, I don't know, there's something I don't really care for. I think it's the helmet. And, Snake Eyes has a full helmet so you can't see his face, but they didn't do that with Leo. Like, he just has a visor and it doesn't quite work. I can understand they're like, No, you have to tell there's a turtle underneath, but we know. We know there's a turtle underneath. He's got a shell, and you just make the helmet like turtle head shaped. I know Donatello is dial tone only because I saw what his name was online. I have never heard of that character before. I'm assuming this character, the G.I. Joe character, has a mustache, but it looks so weird on him. It looks like half 70s porn stash and half like ha 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 Frenchy douche. It's so weird. It's like flesh colored sleeves. Just make it look like they should have been green. You know what I mean? It looks like, doesn't look like sleeves. I don't know. His color scheme is good though. Like the little beret is cute. I'm not gonna buy him, but if I had him, I would probably take acetone and remove that mustache because it drives me nuts. It's so weird. And then Michelangelo, I can totally picture the G.I. Joe character in my head, but I don't know his name. He reminds me, however, of Shore Leave from Venture Brothers, which is one of my absolute favorite characters from Venture Brothers. So I can't... I can't look at this Michelangelo without laughing, but I think he's my third favorite. Shore Leave Michelangelo. Once again, I think this is a great toy line. I think people are just really excited for it. There's lots of collectors that are just super happy to see it. Look at these vehicles. Look at this green helicopter. It looks amazing. The green helicopter, and then we've got the dune buggy. These are fantastic vehicles. Like, this is just going to be such a fun toy line. Playmates is playing it smart. It's a little sad that they lost their license, but they are clearly being as smart as they can with the time that they have, and I hope they keep making good amount of money. I'm really scared for Playmates actually after this, because Ninja Turtles seemed like, I read in an article, it was like 70-something% of their money came from Ninja Turtles. I don't know what's going to happen with Playmates after they lose their Ninja Turtles license. Hopefully they're shopping around for other licenses that they can build up their portfolio. That's what they also should be doing, aside from pumping out as much Ninja Turtle stuff as they can at the moment. With how early they're getting these out, I think they might be able to fit another fun release coming out like before Christmas to help generate more income for the company. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on what they're doing, because I'm like I said, I'm very curious about what their business practice is going to be and up until they lose their license. Most of you probably know, but for those who don't know, Mattel picked up Ninja Turtles license. So in 2027, it's Mattel that's going to start doing Ninja Turtle stuff with the new ownership. They are doing like a full clean sweep, they're already preparing brand new stuff, which I do want to talk about in another video. But Mattel, for those who aren't familiar, Mattel is the one that does, of course, like they're most famous for Barbie and stuff, but Mattel also has Masters of the Universe, which their toy line looks really good. They did the Turtles of Grayskull series. That was not Playmates. If you got any of those, the He-Man crossover turtle figures, that was Mattel that did those, not Playmates. I have like the Donatello, the Stealth Leonardo, and I have the Slash and the Leatherhead, and those last two I thought were just great toys. I love them so much. For a play line, I thought they were high quality play line. I'm very picky about play line because I'm spoiled now, because I have collector grade figures, and it's hard to go back to play line when you have those. But I was still very impressed with them. So I think we're going to get really good toys with Mattel, and I'm excited to see what Mattel does. But at the same time, I am worried for Playmates. So there's nothing we can do about it either way. We're just going to see how it goes in the future. That was a long tangent. Back to Toy Fair. Playmates also is putting out their second wave of the Godzilla Ninja Turtles crossover toy line, and as good as the G.I. Joe ones were, these are bad. They're so bad. Ugly. They're not fun. I think the second wave is worse. The first one was like, I mean, they're ugly, but I could picture some people enjoying them. I almost got the Leo, but I saw him in the store and held him in my hand and actually looked at him. He's ugly. They're all ugly. These are worse. This Mechagodzilla Shredder, just a ball of gray. It's not fun to look at. And this brown one, it looks like a rabbit. I think it might supposed to be Splinter? I don't know what this is. It's so ugly. It looks like a rabbit. This tree makes it look like it's got a carrot and it's a rabbit. It's ugly. These are terrible. I don't like them. And we got the Donatello finally, which I thought was really weird that they put out 3 turtles in the first wave and then Donatello got moved back to the second wave. But this is ugly too. I just covered the Ninja Turtles Godzilla comic crossover where this robot thing was mentioned, and I still don't remember what it's called. It was ugly. This figure is ugly. These are terrible. I can understand looking at an ugly figure and still liking it. I can understand that 100%. If you guys see these figures and you're like, no, I like them, I want them, I think that's fair, but they are objectively ugly figures. They're not good. Especially, we just looked at these great G.I. Joe figures. I think, even though I'm not going to get them, I'm only going to get a couple, I think they're objectively good figures. I think they're fun. I think they're designed well. I think they're just fun to look at. They're going to be fun to play with. I think kids who don't even know what G.I. Joe is are going to look at them and want them. These are terrible. Like, they just look like hunks of plastic. Playmates, these aren't your best. This isn't your best line. They all could have gone back to the drawing board, but it is what it is. Hopefully there's no more. I'm curious as to how well these sell, but I don't like them. I don't think they're even fun to look at. I think this one, the Donatello one, is the worst one. I know what the robot looks like that he's based on, and I know the robot itself is kind of ugly too, but I think they could have done better than this. This is just not great. I don't like this. Last, we're getting to the McFarlane toys, and I feel bad now that we're ending it on such a sour note. I hate the Godzilla ones, and these I also do not like. If you guys have seen my other videos, anytime I cover the McFarlane figures, I don't have anything nice to say, and I still don't. They're not good. This Bebop and Rocksteady, they're just, like, the proportions aren't right. They look amateur, is what they look like to me. They look like somebody maybe put them together, like somebody designed them with their 3D printer and printed them out and then colored them at home. They look unprofessional. Like $12 figures is what I'm trying to say. They look playline. Like, if these were $10, $12 on the shelf, I'd be like, okay. But we know from the other turtles that they have put out previously, these are going to be like $30 figures, and they're not worth that. They're not good. I don't like either one of these. They're releasing these like Turtles in Time type figures with the ancient samurai armor, which the armor looks so good. The sculpting on this armor and the painting and everything, the whole outfit looks amazing. And then their faces are just terrible. The faces are bad. The painting is bad. This color green, so bad. Like, it looks like somebody painted this in their basement. I don't understand what's going on with McFarlane. Like, as far as I'm aware, this is the first time that they've had the Ninja Turtle license, and I don't feel like they care at all. I feel like they're just putting some stuff out. These are not $30 toys. Here is the Raphael and the Michelangelo. Like, what is up with this packaging? Look how dirty it is. If you guys remember last year's Toy Fair, they had kind of a diorama, and that diorama was shit too. Like, it was dirty. It was, like, poorly put together. I just feel like McFarlane does not care about having Ninja Turtles. They look playline to me. These look like $12 figures. Saw Playmates, we know that those are going to be like $10, $12 figures. They look better than this. They're bright, they're fun to look at. They look like love has been put into them, at least the G.I. Joe ones. I don't like any of these. Shredder and the Foot Soldier guy, these look fine. These look acceptable. I don't know if it's the turtles, the fact that they're turtles that maybe the sculptors just aren't comfortable with. Because these look fine. These look like I would expect. I still don't know if I would say $30. Maybe. I mean, they look like they've got some pretty good articulation. Maybe $30, and then they come with a comic, which I think is where they're trying to justify the price point. These are the best figures out of the line. And then I was just curious, because I'm very unfamiliar with McFarlane. I had only ever heard of them because they did pick up Ninja Turtles, so I just looked around to see, like, are the figures all this quality, or what's going on? So I went and looked at some of the other stuff from their Toy Fair booth. These figures look great. This Spawn looks amazing. This Savage Dragon looks so good. Look at these. These are so good. And then you compare it to these turtle figures and they're just awful. What is happening? And I feel like nobody's I actually saw a video just the other day which kind of reminded me that I needed to finish this video. But I've seen one video talking about how crap these figures are. Maybe I'm not watching enough videos. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone a little. Why are these figures so bad when we get quality like this from this company? Here's Hellboy. I don't know who this chick is, but like soft goods and like all this crazy cool sculpting, and the colors are bright and they're clean and they're well made. All of this stuff we see in all of these other figures, but not Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtle figures they're dirty, they're painted weird, they look like they're just an afterthought for this company. I don't know why they picked them up. I've seen the Leonardo that came out a while ago. I've seen it at Walmart and at Target. Nobody's picked it up. Like, they're still just sitting there on the shelf. Nobody wants these figures for $30. They're not $30 figures. I don't know what's up with McFarlane, because everything else they put out looks really good. Does, like, nobody at that company care about Ninja Turtles? I don't know what's happening. I've said it before, I will probably never buy any of their turtle stuff. If they did something else that I was super interested in, I would probably take a look at it, because it looks like everything else they do is really high quality and looks really nice. If they do any of the girls, not Jenica, but if they do Mona Lisa or Lita, I will definitely pick them up. I don't care how bad they look. Like, I only have 2 Mona Lisa figures and they are the only ones in existence. I need more. So if McFarlane does Mona Lisa, I will pick her up. But other than that, I don't know what's up with them. But that's it. That's the whole video. I would love to hear anybody's thoughts about Toy Fair. If you want to talk to me about Playmates, about Mattel, about McFarlane, I would love to hear about it. I would love to talk to more collectors. Like, I guarantee most of you know more than me about it. I've been into Ninja Turtles since I was a small child, but I kind of got more into the collector space, which a lot of us did around COVID and stuff, and started learning just these past couple years, and really leaning more into collecting the figures and learning about the different companies, and also just learning about taking care of figures and posing them and the fun things that you can do with them. So if anybody wants to talk to me about any of that, I'm definitely always open to glean information from people who know more than me about that kind of thing. So feel free to drop me any comments at any time. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!